How are we going, everyone? Out here in the orchard, it's a really hot day today. We're pushing 32 degrees plus, and I reckon it feels like about 40 on the ground. Just having a look around at the trees, because I've only turned the irrigation on about 3 days ago, once for 2 hours, because I knew we were going to have these 32 and 34 degree days coming through. And I'm looking at the trees, and they're all looking pretty good. They're holding their shape, they're holding their colour, their vibrancy. See, you can see the shine in the leaf as well. That is a good indicator to tell you that you've got hydration coming through. Another thing to look for is on the fruit on hot days, especially on hot sunny days. Now this fruit's quite small, but there'll be fruit that's on the north side of the tree. For example, around here. This is not the best example, but this is on the north side. What I recommend you do, if you've got a lot of fruit, to avoid it getting burnt by the sun or scorched by the sun, you get these sunspots and burnt marks. And what that does, it actually causes the fruit to start to stew. 30 degrees or 35 degrees, and when it gets up to 40, what do you think this is going to happen? It's going to boil inside, all the water inside. It's going to be like a little kettle, and it boils up. So you can either just crack the top new growth, see all that growth there? This is all the summer growth coming on. All this is going to get taken off later on once we harvest the fruit. But for now, what you can do is just crack the tops over like that and leave them there, and they create a canopy of shade, so the leaves become shade. So you haven't really killed it off, because it's still holding a little bit of sap flow through down here. So it's broken on one side. Yes, it will still slow down in sap flow, but not enough to dry it up too quickly, and that way you can protect your plants with a little bit of shade, and the fruit doesn't go off before you get to harvest it. Another thing to look out for, folks, are insect bites. Or birds, even wildlife get into it like that there. See there? They've had a little taste of the fruit. I saw the galahs here the other day. They came down, there was about 50 or 60 of them, and they actually landed in the orchard on the ground and just eyed off all my fruit. They were just going, yes. It's going to be a field day out here soon. So I've got to come out here every day and monitor it. Now this one here, this is the Dorset Golden. I keep forgetting the names of these, they're quite unusual. This is the one I showed you the other day. These are the apples on it. It's a small tree. They're only 2 years old, 2.5 years of age since I planted them, and I have cut them down pretty hard. See there? See, that was going straight up. I don't want it to go up, and I do actually want it to open out. So I'm not sure how fast this will grow, because there's a lot of bud spurs or fruiting spurs here all over this plant here. So you may get a little bit of growth there. See that coming through? I can start training that up there. Hopefully it'll grow through. This plant in particular, there's no snapping of the new growth on it, because it's so slow in putting it on. Some other trees have put on a lot of growth already. Every tree is different. Am I going to taste this one? Yeah, why not? And normally, you know, a half twist, as my mate Craig would say, and it pulls and it comes off. That's ripe and ready. These aren't quite ripe and ready. I don't mind them a little bit tart, and I prefer them in my tummy rather than in the birds. Anyway, come over here. Have a look at this tree. This was given to me, bloody rabbits, holes digging underneath the roots. Let me go through a couple of things on this tree at the moment. First, I don't know the name of it. To me, it's a plum. It's a small plum. And it's harvested when it's in its green stage. So this is actually starting to ripen. It's eaten when it's a little bit tart, or really tart, with a little bit of salt and a bit of, I can't even say it, moonshine, homemade moonshine, or sipuro, or ouzo, basically. So you eat that like that. It was given to me as a gift at one of many trees that I've received here. And yes, it's bitter. It's not sweet. I don't know how they do it. Now this has also been hit by the rabbits, and you'll see the wrapping what I've done around here. Have a look at this. Two things actually, rabbits and brush cutting. Not yours truly, by the way, thank you very much, it wasn't me. What I've done here, because we had a lot of open wounds here, all the cambium layer was exposed, so it would have caused a little bit of dieback. Not a lot to kill the tree, but enough to annoy me. So what I did is I actually moistened up some of that cocoa peat we have, applied it on the trunk, and then wrapped it up with grafting tape or buddy tape like that to keep the moisture in there, so that way the sap flow continues. It doesn't stop in the tree. As you can see, other than a few insect bites here and there, caterpillars and things like that. There's no real other problems to be worried about. The fruit's down low, the summer crop, which is the foliage and all this new growth, is going to come off again, and the centre has to come out. But we'll talk about that later on. Wow. Look at that. How did I miss this one, eh? See what I'm looking at? Well, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually the rootstock. That's the tree, the rootstock here. Look at the thorns on this. Well, let me find you some. Well, they're here. There. Oh, here. Look at that. Look at this. That's a spike on the end of it. All of these are thorns with leaves on it. That is the rootstock taken off. And down below here, look at this poor little soul. That's our pear tree trying to survive. So sorry, buddy. I honestly don't know how I missed that, folks. It happens, yeah. We don't hide from our shame and our mistakes here, so we've got to cut this one right off. And if you've got suckers coming up, this is what I was talking about the other day. Look out for suckers on your citrus trees, on your fruit trees, on your roses, because they can eventually take over. And here, voila, is your example. You can thank me later. Sacrifice the poor tree so I can show you what could happen if you don't cut the rootstock suckers off your plant. So, going to cut this off, clean it up, straighten this poor little soil up, and hopefully it'll take off again. I'm sure it will. The roots have well and truly established because of the size that's come on top. And then in a couple of years' time from today, we should get some fruit off it as well. Sorry, mate. Mr. Milk has just gone into the back of the ride-on and started eating everything that we cut off. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. Here he comes. For great specials, folks, we're running some great specials again. It's 3AW Radio Weekend, so if you're watching this just as it's been uploaded, switch over to 3AW. We've got gardening, weekend gardening with me and Darren James. Everything's happening here. From 6:30 to 8 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday morning. And our weekend specials, we're running up to 80% off for everybody. It's our last weekend sale for the year because it's our last weekend radio program, and you get free delivery with all orders, just over $20. How do you like that? So we've reduced the free delivery service and we've discounted everything up to 80% off with the coupon code word Merry Xmas. Xmas is the spelling. From me, Vasili Maresi. See you in the morning.